Hello and welcome to the show. I am Joe Tophat. This October 2nd, Peanuts will be turning 70. And to honor this occasion, I'm going to do a 7-part video covering its animation legacy. Each video will cover a specific decade of Peanuts' animation career, starting with the 50s and ending with the 2010s. There will also be a 5-part video where I review all the movies. All these videos will be released leading up to October 2nd. But for right now, I want to share a book I've been using for research. It's called The Art and Making of Peanuts Animation. This is surprisingly a hard book to come by these days. I bought it when it was brand new from Amazon, and last time I checked, it's only available from these sellers used, and they want a ridiculous amount of money for it. It's a really nice book, though I wouldn't call it the most comprehensive one on Peanuts animation, as they don't include certain specials like You're the Greatest, Charlie Brown, or It's the Girl in the Red Truck, Charlie Brown. It's a really nice book jacket, though it's a little crinkled and ripped right here. It's nothing I did, that's how it came to me. I really hate book jackets. They're so easy to tear. I really like the illustration with Snoopy as director and Charlie Brown being nervous. It's a really nice touch, and I like how Linus is the cameraman, and it looks like Lucy is given constructive criticism. As you can see down here, Snoopy is dancing, and I think it also, just scenes from the various specials. Looks like storyboard from the Thanksgiving, and Peppermint Patty from You're in Love, Charlie Brown, Life is a Circus, and like a little rough animation. You can see that. Anyway, I'll briefly take the dust jacket off. As you can see, the characters. I really like this blue color with the pencil drawings of the characters. It's so beautiful. And as you can see, more of the wrinkle in there, and there's a tear right there. Well, look, it's Pigpen holding the hand of that princess from It's Your First Kiss, Charlie Brown. Oh, and look here, that Snoopy goes onto the other side of the dust jacket. I never understood the purpose of these. I mean, does it really protect the book at all? Anyway. And look inside. You see Sally and, of course, old Charlie Brown. Yeah. Charlie Brown making his kite. It looks like it's taken from the movie A Boy Named Charlie Brown. And here's a quote from Schultz. Someone named Charles Solomon. Let me see if I can read that. To the memories of Bill Littlejohn, Bill Melendez, and Charles Schultz, three artists whose work I continue to enjoy and whose company I miss. I wonder if he wrote this book. Why, yes, he did. Yeah, this was obviously done before the death of Lee Mendelson, who died, I think it was either Christmas Eve or Christmas of 2019. I'm not sure which. Kind of ironic that it worked out the way it did. Anyway, This covers like the various decades, like the 50s. Yeah, believe it or not, there was Peanuts animation in the 50s. And of course the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and this was done before the Peanuts movie because it goes 2000 and beyond. A lot of my research had been done online. It's such a beautiful drawing. It's obviously a rough, but I love looking at roughs. Yeah, I actually learned a lot about these specials reading this book, as well as doing my various research online. I even went back and watched a lot of the documentaries from the Peanuts DVDs. This is where my research is coming from. There's Bill Melendez. Yeah. And basically what I learned, to give you guys a little sample, is that Schultz surprisingly was not interested in animation at first. Because according to the book, Schultz and Peanuts, he had received offers to do TV animation dating all the way back to 1954. Here's the various albums from Vince Guaraldi. But he had zero interest. And I found that surprising considering how important animation became to Peanuts. Because when you think about it, most people haven't read the comics. They usually just know them from the various specials they made on TV, as well as the movies and the commercials. But after doing some research into TV animation in the 50s, I could see why he would feel reluctant. I won't spoil anything, I'll let you guys find out in the video. Yeah, the very first one I ever did for this channel was Peanuts in Animation 1950s. It was one of the few I did that included clips. Oh, this is a real nice drawing. I'm thinking this might be from a boy named Charlie Brown. But anyway, I was never really satisfied with the way it turned out. I remember releasing it and thinking that people are going to be demanding me do more, and never got a comment on it, and nobody ever requested I continue it, so I basically just forgot all about it. And I recently went back and well, let's just say I was not satisfied with the results. So I'm doing it again, but way more professional. And I originally thought to do it the way I did for the Garfield videos, where I actually showed clips, but the way YouTube is, I am just going to stick with still images. It's not ideal, but, well, it is what it is. And, wow, these are really nice drawings. Punching old Charlie Brown. What did that poor boy do? I like him at the piano right there, and like Schroeder with the Beethoven bust. But these videos are going to be way more comprehensive than like usual, because I'm covering basically everything in Peanuts animation, from the specials, the movies, and even covering some of the commercials. Wow, these are really nice to look at. Charlie Brown Christmas is like the one that started it all. And for most people, it's like the only one they watch. Well, with the possible exception of the other holiday specials. But Schultz, Mendelssohn, and Melendez were never 100% satisfied with the way it turned out. That's basically how creators are. They always want to strive to do better, which is a good thing. Fans may be satisfied with the way... Oh, this looks nice. Fans may be satisfied with the way a product turns out, or in this case, special, but the creator's always going to look at it and it's like, I could have done so much better. Yeah, looking at these from It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, they were way more satisfied with the way that turned out than the Christmas special. But both are really good. Yeah, these are storyboards from You and Love, Charlie Brown. That was another good one. He's Your Dog, Charlie Brown. I consider that the weakest of the specials from the 60s. It just didn't really have that strong of a story. It Was a Short Summer, Charlie Brown. The famous arm wrestling scene between Snoopy as the Masked Marvel with Lucy. Schultz really loved that scene. Yeah, that's where Snoopy gave her a kiss and Lucy declared herself the winner. I don't know if that's how it works, but whatever. Boy Named Charlie Brown. That one was like the worst of the Peanuts movies. Not that it's bad, but, well, just wait until my review comes out and I'll give a reason why. The 70s. This scene was taken from Snoopy Come Home. Yeah, each section has like text, and they have people from various animation projects from like Up, Ratatouille, and whatnot, discussing how much they love the Peanuts specials and how it influenced them. Yeah, they don't necessarily have like for every one of the specials. That's where the internet comes in handy. A quote from Stephen Shee. Schultz directed me specifically. He was kind of quiet, soft-spoken, and not in any way intimidating, almost fatherly. He seemed to be enjoying it. Yeah, Stephen Shee was the younger brother of Chris Shee, who was the original voice of Linus in the Christmas special. Yeah, really nice. I thought about doing like a video series talking about the various people who did voiceovers for Peanuts, but the thing is that most of them didn't go on to bigger things. Some are still acting, but most are not really well known. Well, the most well known actors I can think of is Stacey Ferguson did the voice of Sally, and she later became Fergie of Black Eyed Peas. And Taylor Lautner, who's well known for Jacob in the Twilight movies, did the voice of Joe Agate, and He's a Bully, Charlie Brown. It's a mystery, Charlie Brown. One of my all-time favorites. But more recently, like, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm terrible at pronouncing those, but Noah Schnapp or Schnapp, or, well, the kid who plays Will Byers in Stranger Things was Charlie Brown in the Peanuts movie. Some music. There had been like adults who did voiceovers, like Greg Berger, Frank Welker, Hal Smith, Cam Clark, just to name a few. Princesses from It's Your First Kiss, Charlie Brown. Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. It's a good movie. Ooh, What a Nightmare, Charlie Brown. Yeah, that's the one where Snoopy had a nightmare about being a sled dog, I should say. Yeah. I heard some people complain about that special, the way they portrayed the sled dogs. But, it's a good special. From This Is America, Charlie Brown. The 80s. Yeah, I think the 80s was like my favorite time for the Peanuts and animation. Here's a nice picture of Schultz and Lee Mendelson. Yeah, that's where they got pretty ambitious with their projects. But you'll hear more about it later. Snoopy drinking the root beer. Drawings from It's Magic, Charlie Brown. My personal favorite. Here is from Someday You'll Find Her, Charlie Brown. It's amazing what they included in this book. Charlie Brown's Celebration. The first hour-long special. It's a nice scene. From the MetLife commercials. Yeah, I will discuss that a little bit. You're a good man, Charlie Brown? Yeah, that's where they had where you could hear Snoopy's farts, sort of like Garfield. And Snoopy the Musical. That's where Cam Clark did the voice of Snoopy. Yeah, a lot of people did not like that decision to give Snoopy a voice because it's too many years of not hearing his voice. Snoopy's siblings. The 90s. Why Charlie Brown? Why? Very serious one. Snoopy's reunion. Yeah, that's like Snoopy's mom. The spring training one. That one brought back Leland of the Goose Eggs. And of course the Charlie Brown Christmas Tales. We'll talk about this one more, but this one was from an unmade special. Yeah, I actually learned that there was some specials that Schultz planned but never got off the ground. Yeah, the ones that came, the specials that came beyond this. Happiness is Warm Blanket. I'm going to have to rely on the internet. But other than that, this is a great book, and if you can get it cheap, I highly recommend it. But if not, don't bother. You could actually learn a lot just by looking up on Peanuts Wiki. But you won't get the same type of images there. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.